Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport is one of the biggest and busiest airports in the world and also the largest hub for American Airlines. It's in part thanks to American's massive network that its partner British Airways has flown to DFW since the late 80s. Unfortunately, as of a few days ago, a really surprising development has emerged. This being that British Airways will temporarily suspend service to Dallas, Texas in the summer of 2025. Why this will be the case is what we're going to answer in today's video. So without further delay, let's get started. British Airways began service to Dallas-Fort Worth in 1988. Now, technically, they took over the route following the merger with British Caledonian Airways, who flew DC-10s from London Gatwick, with BA eventually shifting the route to Heathrow. Now, let's fast forward a few years to 1999, when BA and American Airlines played a role in establishing the OneWorld alliance. This allowed the two airlines to work better together in terms of code sharing and offering connecting itineraries. Today, both carriers hold a very strong relationship and are joint venture partners across the Atlantic. Now, DFW being the largest hub for American Airlines means that BA and other OneWorld partners like Qantas and Qatar Airways have been able to benefit from large amounts of connecting passengers in addition to the local DFW area customer base. So it goes without saying that Dallas has always been a successful market for OneWorld Airlines. In fact, Finnair recently announced that it'll offer up to 11 weekly flights to DFW next summer, making it the busiest US gateway for the carrier despite only launching the service in 2022. Another example is Qatar Airways, who currently operate twice daily to DFW, and of course Qantas, who fly to both Sydney and Melbourne and will soon be bringing back the A380 in August of 2025. British Airways themselves flew their A380 to Dallas for a significant period, only recently downgauging to the Boeing 777-300ER. Unfortunately, British Airways announced that it'll suspend flying to Dallas for the summer 2025 season. The airline industry officially switches to the summer schedule on March 30th, meaning the final British Airways flight from DFW will operate on the 29th. The suspension will last until October 26th when the fall schedule takes effect, so it's not like BA is leaving Dallas completely. However, to compensate for losing BA, American Airlines will add a fifth daily flight to London, operating on the same schedule as the BA flights did. But why is this happening, and why is BA choosing to suspend such an important route like Dallas over others? Well, it's a pretty simple reason, and one that actually has nothing to do with the Dallas route itself. British Airways is one of many airlines worldwide who continue to face issues related to the Rolls-Royce Trent 1000 engines powering its fleet of Boeing 787s. It continues to face delays in receiving new engines and parts from Rolls-Royce, which means that the 787s waiting for new engines are offline, and that of course means you have an aircraft shortage. This has prompted the airline to further adjust its summer schedule, reallocating aircraft and outsourcing various routes to partner airlines wherever possible. And it's not just Dallas that's receiving a service change. British Airways will reduce service to Miami from twice to once daily, with American adding a third daily Miami-London flight to compensate. BA is also suspending service from London Gatwick to New York JFK for this coming winter and postponing the resumption of service between Heathrow and Kuala Lumpur. And as of a few days ago, British Airways will indefinitely suspend service to both Kuwait City and Bahrain. Again, the carrier's reasoning for these moves is that the aircraft capacity initially intended to operate these flights has a higher need elsewhere in its network. But then there's another slightly less important problem. American Airlines has long claimed to be experiencing a wide-body aircraft shortage of its own. It's been experiencing this ever since it retired the Airbus A330s and Boeing 767s during the pandemic. Right now, late 787 deliveries from Boeing is the most pressing issue because none of the 30 787-9s that American has on order that were supposed to be delivered starting this year have been delivered. However, the first aircraft from this new order batch is almost ready for delivery from Boeing's Charleston factory. So even though American has a shortage of wide bodies, it claims that it can manage adding a couple extra flights to London during the summer. Hopefully those new 787-9s coming from Charleston will be delivered soon, and even more hopefully they won't have any issues, because I don't know if you're aware, but Boeing's been having issues lately. Anyway, given that those extra London flights will be operated by American's 777-300ERs, that also begs the question of when those planes are going to receive their long-awaited cabin retrofits that will see the removal of flagship first class and the addition of a completely new business class. Maybe with this British Airways issue at hand, they might push the retrofits until later in 2025, but that remains to be seen. So, aircraft shortages and outsourcing to partner airlines, we've seen this before. Look no further than BA's OneWorld partner, Qatar Airways, for example. Philadelphia to Doha was originally served by Qatar Airways until 2023, when the route was handed over to American Airlines. Also, Finnair has been flying not just from Helsinki to Doha, but also strangely from both Stockholm and Copenhagen. However, these two routes will end in January and go back to full Qatar Airways service. Finnair themselves have wet leased some A330s to OneWorld partner Qantas, which are now operating flights for them from Sydney to Bangkok and Singapore. This all really just shows the beauty of airline alliances. Anyway, that's all I have to cover for this video. British Airways is not leaving Dallas completely. They'll just be gone for a little bit before hopefully coming back later in 2025. I hope the best for them. Thanks a lot for tuning in today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and until I see you next, take care and goodbye.